Well, it's that time again. It's a Monday. We all know what it means. It's time for some Tier 3 in FPRL. Welcome everyone to round 5 of our Season 11 Championship. And we are in the beautiful countrysides, not quite the Cotswolds, but the countrysides of Italia. The Emilia Romagna region for what was formerly known as the San Marino Grand Prix. Now the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix and potentially no more. Potentially the final time we have Imola in a Formula 1 game unless there's DLC. We're still betting for Hockenheim and Istanbul about 5 years later, so who knows how that's went. But what we do know is bound to happen is 32 laps of this historic circuit and plenty of Scottish accents of Italian corner names to follow. I know a certain David Lawface is looking forward to that. I'm Cruise Racing 72, joining me as usual on a Monday, Monkey Boy Kurt. How you been, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you, mate. Glad to be back again on a nice Monday evening for another round of Tier 3. It's going to be a good one. Finished last time out once again, taking the top step of the podium and extending his lead in the championship. But is anyone today going to be able to get onto the back of the racing ball? He'll be hoping to make it another win, but Eagle, Button, and the likes of them were quite quick last time out and gave him a good fight. Will we see difference today? I think, I hope for a bit of variety. We'll see if Fish can be challenged today. But getting ready for quality now. First lap of the session, as usual. Major Allen's going to give us that. And
Good. And you've left the session. Fantastic start. I was busy trying to work out the microphone issues between us both, and what's happened is we've had a meltdown in the commentary booth, so that's been a great start. Anyway, you should be able to join off with me, so it should be okay. Should have that sorted. So you're going to follow the major for the remainder of their lap while we go over our driver standings and where Monkey Boy Kurt gets back in the lobby. I don't like the round Aqua Minerale for the Mercedes. Fish Stick's the runaway leader in the standings. 4 victories out of 5 races this season, is on 94 points, almost double the pack. Only Mondo is within, say, half of Fish's points tally. He's on 50 in second place, and this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. And among the Tier 3 standings, we have about 5 drivers covered by 7 points. As mentioned, Mondo, second place overall on 50 points, 5-0. Then Godfather and Sheriff Woody, and Button for that matter, tied for third over the campaign. But due to Godfather's victory around Australia, the only driver to win a Grand Prix outside of Fish Sticks this season, they get third by default, or at least by countback, as... There we go. That should get Monkey Boy Kurt back in the lobby. And as I mentioned, Sheriff Woody and Button. Sheriff Woody ahead due to having a better finishing position. Eagle on 43 points, as we mentioned say his name, and he appears at the top of the standings. Radical on 32 points. The Tattoo Star having a solid campaign in 8th place overall on 30. David Lawface on 16, and a tie for 10th with Hirsch and Locker on 8. But like Sheriff Woody and Button, Hirsch has that due to a better finishing position. Then we got Josh, Gregor, Zafir and Rayman, all of them on 1 point. And the remaining 5 drivers yet to score, hoping to end that duck tonight, is Rainbow, Leonardo, Delta, Major Allen and Rage Quit, the latter of the which is not here tonight. So they'll need to wait until next week, where we head off, not from the countryside, to the hills of Belgium, where we take on the Spa-Francorchamps circuit next week. Fish Sticks invalidate this first run, and we finally tick over to someone else that is not in a Mercedes, that being Mondo, second place overall and 4th place provisionally on the grid. And immediately Leonardo is the runaway leader, some half a second ahead of Eagle. And what I've picked up very quickly here, Monkey Boy Kurt, is that Imola is a track that either you love or you hate. And for Leonardo, he very much loves this track off of that opening lap time.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's definitely one of those tracks that you can either really get hooked up or you just really hate in the tight corners that is around this track. And Leonardo, he showed some good pace in quali sessions this season. It just really hasn't had the race results to go with it. But at the moment, half a second lead at the top. He'll look that definitely. Obviously, still 12 minutes to go. But yeah, could we potentially see him?
Sophia, well held.
Probably potentially see him have a good race as well. Let's hope so. That is a very impressive time to start with. Obviously Button as well in third at the moment, being the quality star of the season, I would say. A whole half a second off that time. So maybe there's still some to find. We've also got around half the grid yet still to set some laps. So I'm just wondering if we're going to see anyone else climb the ranks, and Fish Sticks will be one of them, obviously the championship leader, who is now just coming through sector 2.
Yeah, I'm happy you didn't see what Radical done. He abused a 100-metre marker board before Tosa. So,
Shocking.
Yeah, as somebody who relies heavily on the marker boards, that being you, that is not best for the Radical, but there'd be a lack of practice around here for the Haas driver looking to get a couple of points on the board. Dreaders, technically Ferrari's home track, albeit it's the closest to Maranello, if I am correct. Of course, Team RB, formerly AlphaTauri, is set at Monza. That is their home circuit, but I'm not complaining. Italy is some of the best racetracks in the world. Dreaders invalidating their outlap shouldn't be a problem. Radical getting ready to go again. Hirsch in the McLaren. It's been a so-so season, I think, for Hirsch. He's been up there, but equally it just hasn't went his way, and when it's went wrong, it's went badly wrong for at least one of the McLarens. The other one of the Tattoo Star heading up towards the final chicane right now before the Ravazza corners, the final corners on this beautiful circuit. The Variante Alta chicane, that is. That's another one for the Stratbrook David. Got another couple to go, like the Tamburello chicane and the Villeneuve chicane. There's two more for you. And we'll flip over to the Tattoo Star. And a driver who I think has had a very solid campaign, as I said, going through the point standings, is up in 9th for now in a 17.6. You'll be satisfied with that for a banker lap. Zafir getting on the board into the 116s, and Hirsch just ahead of David Lawface and just behind his teammate of the Tattooed Star for the moment. There's slight car park there into towards Hirsch. You had to be alert for that one there. I think that was Button diving out the way. Just about avoided the rear of that McLaren. So well held there, Hirsch. And equally for Button, that was a bit of a brown trouser moment for them, as there's Godfather abandoning that opening lap. Not happy with how he took the Tamburello chicane. That, or just the abundance of traffic ahead of him as everyone's pouring out for a second run. 9 minutes left to go in the session. Fish Sticks up in second, splitting the Kick Salbers, Button in fourth, Mondo, Sheriff Woody, Josh, Zafir, Locker, and the Tattoo Star, as I mentioned. Our top 10 so far. Twitch chat, how are we doing this evening? Give us a little bit of interaction. Silverside Boy has immediately chimed in with the drink and Colcom drink redemptions for herself. Cheers for that, Silverside Boy. And the Truth or Dare, oh joy. We know how this goes. Truth or Dare for anyone in the commentary team. And please be kind, because there's only so much we can take. But we'll keep an eye out on Leonardo, I think, for our opening run. And as we said, a driver who hasn't scored yet this season. Oh, Zafir! That's not how you take the pit lane. That is a disaster.
Yeah, I know. It feels to crash in the pit lane, and he'll definitely not be loving what he's just done there. So a minimum of 8th it's going to be then. A highest position of 8th it's going to be then for Zafir. Probably he's going to drop a lot further down once everyone gets in their next runs. So not going to be too pleased with that. But we do have a couple of drivers now on their laps coming onto their second runs. Leonardo is actually invalidated, so he's now going to have to either get the battery charged up to 100% and then go again, or he might just come in and go for one final run at the end. Fish Sticks just coming out of the pits as well now. He's also on his second run, and so is Godfather, someone that's been really quite quick but just hasn't had all the luck. Obviously that first race in Bahrain got taken out in the first corner of the race, and that could have cost him really, really big points. He qualified second for that one, but he is going to go for his lap now, so we'll see what he is going to produce. It looks like his first run didn't quite go to plan, but he's now coming around the final corner. We'll see what he can put on the board. Oh, very close there, almost in the validation, but nothing too bad from him. The 16.4 puts him up to P6. He'll be happy with that. Eagle now coming around the final corner as well. The other kicks out, but can he challenge his teammate Leonardo? Yes, it's closer. It's not quite enough to get him on provisional pole. Puts him up to P2 though, but there we go. There's the man that's always been on pole or thereabouts this season. Button puts himself now provisional pole by around about half a tenth of a second. 15.6. Beats Leonardo. As I say that, there goes LIG Josh. Another great lap from him. A 15.5. That's a whole tenth in front of Button. So looks like the drivers, as we're getting through this session, getting used to the track, we can see any more people plonk up there and with faster times. 56 now coming on to his second run, so he'll be looking to improve on his 16.0. Half a second will put him on provisional pole. Obviously, Mongo's out on the mediums, which is quite interesting. He's actually done that medium lap. Yeah, that's a medium lap. He's done a 15.8 on, so that is really impressive. Imagine what you can do on the soft compound tyres. I think he'll be wanting to get back in and definitely get a fresh start for the end part of the session and maybe have himself a stab at pole here. Just also looking at who's coming across the line. I think we've got another Alpine. Then we've got Mercedes, sorry, that's is it Major Allen? No, he's coming into the box. Leonardo, has he gone again? No, he's coming to the box as well. So looks like everyone now coming into the box. Sheriff Woody, yeah, it's not a lap either. So it looks like now with 6 minutes left to go, gonna have a few people out on their laps, but it looks like all eyes is now on this final run to see who's going to get that pole position.
As I say, Silverside Boy earlier redeeming a truth or dare question, and suppose he kind of forced the truth on me, and I'm like, yeah, sure. In context of WWE, the SummerSlam event is this weekend. I will definitely be watching that. And he's asked, what is your honest opinions on Drew McIntyre teaming up with Logan Paul? If I do say my honest opinions, we'll get kicked off there, because this is a time when I want to fall on my own sword, because I want to see Drew McIntyre lose more than I want to see Logan Paul win, which says an awful lot. Wizard of Oz in the chat, our Tier 2 Championship leader from last campaign was actually in Tier 3. Don't you mean Claymore? Well, a Claymore is a sword, Gary. So I don't understand. It's basically you've told me the same thing as what I just said. So thank you for that. As I said, Wizard of Oz tuning in, formerly of Tier 3, promoted this season and is actually a runaway Tier 2 Championship leader for now, with 2 fantastic victories around Suzuka, and if I'm correct, it was at Melbourne as well. Back to back for them and getting them up the order, as Monkey Boy Kurt has left the party. That is not ideal. Hopefully we get him back. Indeed he has. I think he's just having some microphone or technical issues on their end. It happened last time out around Miami. We got them sorted before the race, so here's hoping it does the same. Radical really not liking it, really liking this track. But it's all part, well, it's just more of a practice session there for Radical, because the points are scored in the race, not quite qualifying. Tattoo Star of bringing up that Drew McIntyre's got visa issues. I'm begging that they are real, because I don't want to see him lose again. And yeah, I know. Radical will finish up the lap here with the Haas, just over 3.5 minutes left to go into the first of the Ravatzes, and now the second. I wonder if that is actually an abandoned lap it is for Radical, and yep, just about decided in time to go to the pits, and is going to get another set of tyres on for the final run. So the current order, the top 5 of Josh, which I think for the first time this season he's in the mix for pole. Button, Leonardo in third, a driver who's been pointless this season up until now. Fish and Eagle in 5th. Mongo in 6th. Sheriff Woody, Godfather David, and the wounded Zafir not able to improve on a 16.9. So that's roughly a benchmark to make it into the top 10 as there's a rifle being carted into the garage, both Cybers being launched at the same time. And thank you, Toadmasters. We jump up now towards Josh, and the outlapping will promptly skip that because there is Fish Sticks leaving the pit lane. It's a stupidly long pit lane here, albeit the pit garages are right at the start. You've got this part of the pit lane here, which is easily about 8 seconds extra added onto your pit time. So the pit stops here, it will influence the race. Do you go for a 1-stop and limit the damage, or do you go for a 2-stop and just go like a bat out of hell in the hope to make up the time, as Fish Stick's being conservative, keeping out the way? There's an Aston Martin on a lap behind them. That looks to be of Rainbow. We've not mentioned them too much in this session. And a driver who was very, very slowly got into grips here in FPRL, of course, picking up their first points some time ago around Zandvoort, keeping their nose clean. And if I'm correct in memory serving me, it was a P7 he got. Still yet to get off the mark here this season, but anything can happen in lead racing. If Mahavi Raghunathan can score a point in Formula 2, then anything can happen in Formula 1 lead racing, as it looks like the Tattoo Star keeps out the way of the faster lap runners. Keep an eye out though on Josh as Godfather puts himself up to 3rd. That might be their session done though, as Delta has retired in the pit lane. They are not going to improve their time, and Godfather in 3rd might not improve either from 3rd. Looks like Rainbow has lost their time invalidating around Aqua Minerale. Such a terrible corner to get right and executed properly, because you drop downhill and you need the momentum to slingshot yourself back up the hill. Major Allen going to go for one more run, it seems, in that Mercedes. Keep an eye out too on Gregors as Hush puts himself up in 10th, and also improvements in that pack. You have 5 cars covered by half a second, and then you've got quite the chasm from David Lawface and the aforementioned Hirsch in 10th. David heading up. Oh my goodness, Josh. As Button's retired from the session in the pit lane, Button will not improve. And that's another challenger falling to the Williams. For the first time this season, Josh is definitely starting to prove why he should be a candidate in this championship. It's been a slow start for them, but is this where their season finally kicks on?
It might be. It's a great lap there for Josh. He's now 4/10 clear at the top of the stand, but the one person I wanted to watch what he got on the softs is Mongo, and here he comes now. Is he going to be able to challenge that time? And he just challenged it, but not quite enough. 15.4 puts him up to P2. The Williams is now P1 and P2. Everyone now starting to come across the line for their final runs, and now we've got Leonardo up to P4 on a 15.6. Here comes Eagle, currently in P7. What can he do? It's a 15.4 as well, and he goes up to P3, splitting Button and Leonardo now. We've got another Mercedes coming around. It's Major Allen. He's got a slight improvement. Whether or not he's going to get above P15, I'm not sure. He might get above it. He does, goes up to P13. Now we've got one of the racing ball. That's going to be Fish Sticks. What can he do? A 15.8. It's only P7 for Fish Sticks. He won't be too impressed with that, being the championship leader. Still some more now to come across the line. One of them is the Tattoo Star in 14. He now comes into the box. We've also got 2 of the Haskett, one of them being Radical, the other one being Locker. And the first one to come across the line will be Radical. 51.5 for sector 2. I don't think that's going to be enough to really put him anywhere near the pack at the front. We'll see where he goes. It's not going to be. He's going to be near the back today. Radical. It's going to be P12. And FPRL Locker goes up to P9. It's a good lap from him, actually, into the top 10. He'll be happy with that. Sheriff will now come around as well. The Alpine is up on his time. Where can he put it? But see, that's to P4, a 15.5, a good lap from himself. And now just seeing if any more. I think Greg is the last one to set the time, and he puts himself up into the pit at top 10 with a 16.7. So yeah, it is LIG Josh on pole position. I don't know if we all would have said that at the start of this session, with Mongo second. So it's all Williams front row, and I believe it was Eagle coming in third, with Sheriff would be fourth. So an interesting to quality there. Very exciting. And looks like Godfather's got a 5 penalty as well, which can drop him actually down to P12. But yeah, Fish Sticks will start 7th, but qualified obviously in that session 8th. I don't think he'd be too impressed with that. Ones that might be a little bit more impressed with their times, I think FPRL Locker in the top 10. He'll be pretty impressed with that. He's not been up to, let's just say, scratch this season, but the top 10 in quality, that will definitely put a smile on his face.
Is I want to try and get this microphone issue sorted. It's starting to bug me now watching the stream on my mobile phone. It's getting a little bit annoying, just obviously hearing your side of the microphone crackling every time there's audio coming through. But while we try and do that, beware there's going to be quite a static pop on the headset, so apologies. In the meantime, Monkey Boy Kurt, it's that time again. You know what I'm about to say. What do you want to talk about?
I mean, I kind of want to get my microphone sorted first. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's yeah, it's not ideal if it's coming through like Dalek, how we say. But I guess we can obviously talk about the race yesterday in Real F1 and what a drive once again from Oscar Piastri. I mean, kind of got Lando on the restart and then just kind of went away with it, and obviously got the opportunity to pit first when it got to dry weather, and from there on was just in total control. Bit of an anti-climax really. We had to wait that long to actually see the start of the race, and it, not an awful lot really happened, to be honest. But yeah, I'll see another one next week. What did you think of it, Cruiser?
Sorry, what? Yeah, that's what I
The
thought.
race.
Of it. Yeah, that's what I thought of it. Just forget about it. It wasn't fun. I put it this way: I would have rather have rewatched the race at Miami. I'd have rather rewatched that before I go back to Spa 2025. But it sounds like the headset problems are working, so that's touch wood. It looks as though it's good for now. I don't know what else what else is there to talk about. Obviously, we got the Hungarian Grand Prix this weekend, and equally keep an eye out on the calendar because that might or might not make an appearance at some point in our Summer of Speed season 11. Silverside Boy saying he loved the race for the fact that the McLaren's got a 1-2. What a time to be a McLaren fan. Fair enough, I suppose. Having to sit through the McLaren turbulence of the mid-2010s, I can see that point of view. Radish was saying, I had more static on the mic and his microphone than I did in the TV. Hopefully it's sorted. Hopefully it's sorted for the race. And equally good luck to yourself and your teammate Locker tonight, Radish, along with everyone else in FPRL. And if you want to join FPRL, be sure to obviously join our Discord server. How do you do that? Nightbot drops a link to our Discord server via our Twitch chat, twitch.tv/FP Racing League. Be sure to hit the follow button on our Twitch streams, which is our primary source of social media, streaming our races Monday, Wednesday and Friday, 8 PM UK time on the twitch.tv/FP Racing League Twitch channel. And Radical calls me out for being a tight sod and get myself a new headset. It's on the radar. I've had this headset for a couple of years, to be fair, so it might be getting worn down. What else is there? Our Twitter, well, formerly Twitter, at fairplay_RL. We post all of our race graphics on there, race results, and keep in the loop of the FP Racing League campaign. Season 11 approaching its halfway stage very, very quickly. So there's no better time than to sign up, get your name in the mix, get yourself some practice ahead of maybe an upcoming championship in Season 12. Who knows, we'll probably keep the circus rolling. And what it is going to be is 5 lights around Imola, 18 cars on the grid, and we are underway for our Tier 3 Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Josh making a fantastic start there on his teammate, leading the pack. A Williams 1-2 for the moment, with Edel and Sheriff Woody looming large behind them. Edel looking to go down the inside of the Alpine that goes now to the outside for the Tamburello chicane. The Williams duo running off with it as Edel and Sheriff Woody fight over that podium place that Edel holds on to just for the moment. Meanwhile, his teammate Leonardo at Salbert still going for it as there's a couple of cars wide there. That looks like the RB of David Lawface and Major Allen making the place up on Godfather, suffering there from that grid penalty. The Williams leading the pack.
Yeah, a little bit wide there from David Lawface. He's lost I think he actually got quite a good start, but I think he's lost in a couple more places. And at the back, we've also got Godfather, who's had a terrible start. And yeah, Fish looks like he's almost half lost there. He's been tapped again there by Godfather, down to P15, the championship leader. Not what he wanted. Godfather also down to 16th. He's had a really poor start as well. So yeah,
a couple of definitely fast drivers, not having the best of starts, rainbows off in the background, but it is Josh that retains the lead. Mongo second, Sheriff Woody now up to third, taking over Eagle, who's now dropped down to fourth, and Button in fifth. So just those two, third and fourth, that are swap places. Leonardo also stays P6, but great starts for Hirsch up 4 places, and Sophia up 4 places as well after his crash in quali into the pit lane. But yeah, I wonder now we're going to see some teamwork from the two Williams boys at the front. Josh leads Mongo by 3 attempts, and he'll want to try and keep him quite close to allow him to have DRS. But Sheriff really looks like he's really up for the challenge today. Everyone on medium tyres, apart from 3 drivers. That's Sophia in 9th, Tactic Star in 13th, and Godfather, who's had to come into the pits, it looks like, for a new wing. So, yeah, not the ideal start for him. He's now going to be wanting a safety car to save him this race. The DRS is going to come into effect at the end of this lap as we go across the start-finish straight. So, we see a change for the lead. Mongo wants to try and get a little bit closer to his teammate. Otherwise, he might be under threat from Sheriff Woody as we go down into turn 1.
And obviously Godfather as well getting a 10-second penalty for speeding into the pit lane, so that is a disaster for the Alpine driver. You have to serve that in a second pit stop because he is not getting the hards some 31 laps. He can try, but he's willing to put all odds on 0. Our drum is cheering on Josh, who still leads the way by 0.7 of a second. DRS is activated, just the one DRS straight though around this Imola circuit, and that is in towards turn 1, 2 and 3. The Tamburello chicane is further back. Locker making a move on Hirsch. Still alright, Hirsch fights back in that one, shows Locker wide and holds on to the places. There's carbon fibre being thrown out there, and I think that might have been from Radical, I'm not sure. As the Tattoo Star gets ahead of Fish Sticks, both of them up 1 place into 13th and 14th. Locker shown wide there by Zafir, one of 2 drivers who's on the hard tyres to start this race, the other one being the Tattoo Star down in 13th. Hirsch very quickly making this a 2-train race, as first place down to 6th place Leonardo is in one group, and Hirsch with the rest of the field behind him, pretty much 3 seconds behind the top 6, and the DRS gains is going to be evident immediately. Either that or the McLaren just is not getting used to this circuit as quickly as he would hope to through the Variante Alta chicane, and just see how much more confidence Zafir is on the exit. Wonder if Hirsch is starting to suffer on those rear tyres, just getting them overheated. He's got to try and cool them down a little bit if he is. Starting lap 4 and overtaking at Imola, good luck. It's so difficult around here too, as Hirsch drifting it around the second of the Ravatzes, and that is no further incentive there for Zafir to make the move on the McLaren. Hirsch not really fighting this one too hard. Judging by that lack of straight line speed, you've got to be careful though, because Locker looking to make amends from the previous lap. Locker shown onto the grass again, and straight line in the chicane. Hirsch knew he was there, and Locker just went for a gap that was always going to close, and trying to make up 1 place. He's now lost 2 to David and Major Allen now up in the points, but Locker, he'll definitely want that penalty rescinded, because I think he was kind of forced off there, I think, by Hirsch. But equally, the nature of the track, it isn't really a straight, it's more just a slight sliver in towards turn 2. And Hirsch, he's let 1 car through, and now he's got to worry about the rest.
Yeah, I personally would actually disagree with that. I think Locker just kind of went for a gap, like you said, it was going to close. Kind of swayed left and right and just happened to hit the back end of Hirsch. So, yeah, you just got to try and get back into it now and get back into the fight. Down to P11. He's still only 2 positions down on his start in position, so he's not out of this yet. He still can definitely put up a good fight here today. Major Allen up in 10th, and he's actually got some wing damage, end plate damage on the front right of his wing, so he might be under attack here from all the guys behind him. Also, David Lolface now up into P9. He'll be looking to have a go at Hirsch now as we go down to turn 1. On lap 5, is he going to have enough battery? I'm now running on board with David Lolface. He's got the battery on, he's got the DRS, but it's not quite enough, and on this occasion Hirsch does stay ahead, but Hirsch not looking like he's liking really the setup of the car, to be honest. He's already dropped 2.3 seconds from Zafir, and Zafir's on the hard tyre, so there's a yellow flag
Zafir's
out,
gone as well.
and that is Zafir. Zafir has gone. And that gets down him to 15th. Obviously got on the grass or gone wild on the gravel. And back down the order he goes. But look at this massive train now that is behind Hirsch. There's a DRS train from 7th right the way down. Yeah, I think it is down to 16th. So we've got one DRS train from 7th to there. We've also got another one from 1st to 6th. Having said that, now Josh is 1.4 seconds ahead. And Mongo won't like the look of that. He's now going to have to make sure that he uses that battery wisely, because Sheriff Woody's going to be all over the back of him now, because he's got no help from his teammate in front.
This is very quickly becoming a 6-car race, it must be said. Josh 1.3 seconds ahead of Mondo, who's now under a lot of pressure from Sheriff Woody. That lack of DRS might be the downfall of one of the Williams. Sheriff Woody just a little bit too far back. Now got to harvest a little bit more of that battery as his button taking a bit of an awkward line around the chicane. That's going to invite Leonardo onto the back of that Mercedes. As further back, Hirsch and David Lawface going for round 2 into the chicane, and Hirsch wins that one again. As much as we've said that Hirsch is struggling here, he's not making it easy for anyone else to get past him. He's certainly doing his bit to at least hold up the pack, as there's another collision at the back. I think Delta has got caught on the curb at the exit of the Tamburello chicane. Our drummers still cheering on Josh, as it's his own little supporters club. Of Hirsch trying to break the slipstream there to David Lawface. The gap between the two packs in the field, and let alone 6th and 7th, the two packs, 9 seconds. And we're only midway around lap 6, which is drastic for context of this race. So basically everyone from 7th place backwards is begging for a safety car right about now, so they can try and close up to the front pack. Meanwhile, Josh, that is a very awkward looking pass there of Radicals, drifting it out of the Variante Alta, and has lost out 2 places there to Dreaders and the recovering Zafir. Let's look up now to this fight for 2nd place. Is Sheriff Woody closer this time? And I think that answer is no. Despite Mondo harvesting that battery, Sheriff Woody might harvest it just a little bit more, as Mondo knows he's got the gap to the Alpine. That's an awkward line though around the opening couple of corners. Josh just about keeping his teammate in DRS range, but also not making sure he gets in the slipstream or dirty air, which is actually very important in context of their race. Both of these two on medium tyres. Everyone on the mediums, except for the Tattoo Star, who started the race on hard. Zafir's into the pits as well. He might have damaged his front wing off of someone, as judged by that early pit stop from the hard tyres, or he has just damaged them severely after making that mistake. Meanwhile, Fish Sticks on their own little fight back through the field, now up to 10th place after being down in 15th on the opening lap. He's now back into the points and is promptly out the... Okay, right. Yeah, sorry Fish.
Yeah, you done him a dirty there, I think, Cruiser.
Yeah, just a bit. Oops.
Yeah, the championship leader having a really bad race today, down to P16. Not what he would have hoped, and yeah, he's going to have to really now try and have a really good end to the race, or the next half of the race, to get some points. Obviously, there's a lot laps left to go, still 24, so it still could happen. Josh just about keeping that DRS to Mongo, and Mongo, as I said that, I was saying, look, keeping it to Sheriff Woody, Eagle looks like he's made the move, and he has. Up to P3 now, Eagle goes. So now, if we look at the order, we're back to how we started, the top 6. They're all in the same position as what they qualified. So Eagle now will try and take the fight to Mongo, and maybe he can have a go, as we've got someone else off.
I think
And,
that's Hirsch.
I think it was Hirsch.
Thinking
and
about with the
contact
graphics
there.
here. Yeah, it's Hirsch.
Contact there.
Oh, dear.
Very, very slidey there. Almost making contact with his teammate as well. So out of the points now goes David Lowface, after that little bit of going wide on the first lap, now finds himself in P7. Major Allen doing, actually, to be fair to him, really well with that damage on his front wing. Finds himself in P8, up 7 positions, as there's a fight up ahead with Leonardo and Button going through Anti-Alta, and now it looks like Button's probably going to be under threat now as we go into lap 9, with him being 2.1 seconds behind Sheriff Woody. I think this would be an easy move for Leonardo. Oh, it's even easier. Button into the pits he goes, and the same with Mongo. Is this a strategy now? Are they going to get the undercut? Does Josh now decide to pit on this lap, or is he going to try and take his mediums a bit longer than his teammate? going to be interesting to see where he comes out.
know you've done
I've just done Alan.
I wasn't
as well.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but I knew immediately as soon as you said what you said. I was like, right, I'm gonna put the stopwatch on. How long is it gonna be? And the answer was about 45 seconds. Granted, it wasn't quite the 2 seconds I had with Fish, but yeah, disaster for Major Allen and equally Fish Sticks, who was almost a lap down on the order. You can actually see him there. He's heading through the second Ravazza. Josh is going through Ackerman Rally. He's about 3 corners behind our championship leader, who has had an awful race so far as the RB. But equally, it's a good incentive for the likes of Button, for the likes of Monroe, and the 2 Alpines as well, to try and claw some points back. But for Godfather, this might be an open opportunity missed for the Alpine after a horrible start themselves that puts them in 14th and on a 10-second penalty along with Major Allen. Sophia on a 2-stop strategy at a bare minimum. But I'm really surprised as well, given the fact that it's only been 8 laps and we're seeing quite the couple of medium runners already make their pit stop. As there goes Mondo. Look at the go. Oh, Mondo over the crest he goes. Fighting there with Sophia. Not, pardon that, Sophia, not them Delta and Hershey's lost ample time there as the 2 of them fighting over position. Delta launches it into the Ravazza as Hirsch get off of the tyres. Thank goodness, they say, as Mondo with a bit of DRS looking to make up some of the time he's going to lose as Delta carries on. Leonardo's in the pits too, and equally, despite the fact Mondo got held up, he still holds a half decent cushion over the Sauber and the McLaren. Oh, Leonardo well held. And that's not what you want on new tyres. That is the exact opposite of what you want. Mondo now about 6 seconds ahead of that Sauber, and Button about 4 seconds behind Mondo. They weren't too far behind in the pit stops either.
No, and I'm surprised. We've got another yellow flag out there down the back. I think it is Sophia. It's gone off again. But yeah, Mongo obviously got very held up there with Delta and it was Hirsch. Yeah, it was, and still obviously gained time. But Josh now into the box from the lead. The gap is 24 seconds, and I think he should. There's a slow stop at Imola. I think Mongo should get out in front here. Obviously opting to pit a little bit earlier and get the undercut. He's had a clear air for a whole lap as he now approaches another slow-moving pack of Radical Gregors and Matatu Star, who are obviously on worn tyre. Here comes Josh then out of the box, and who's going to be in front? It is going to be Mongo, but Josh just behind. So with the 2 added laps of freshness on his tyres, he'll be looking to try and now take the fights with him, but Mongo is definitely now going to get held up by the 3 in front of him. So I think Josh will come right up to the back once again of his Williams teammate.
I think that's partly why Eagle and Sheriff Woody are staying out, because they don't have to fight through this traffic, and immediately you just see how much Mondo's losing time, and has got the first penalty of the top 6. So Mondo getting a 3-second penalty. Radical gets out the way for them eventually, but that will really put Mondo in a quite the annoyed state, getting a penalty so early on, but at least his slate is now clean for later on as he's still getting backed up. Oh, and Dreggers has been either aided there by Mondo through a lag bobble, or he's lost it on his own up the hill, as there was Leonardo flashing by. God bless ghost mode, otherwise that would have been a disaster for the pair of them. Dreggers now down to 10th. Mondo has had a really poor lap here and has actually lost out to Josh. He's let him through and has now got to try and fight his way by the Tattoo Star, and David Lawface isn't too far ahead of them either, but I don't think David will cause too many problems. But equally, they haven't gained much time here to Eagle on this lap. They've lost about 3 seconds.
Yeah, it looked like Mongo kind of helped Gregors around, to be honest. Got a really good exit out of the corner, and Gregors didn't get the best one, and he just tapped the back of him. So, yeah, Gregors ain't going to be happy about that. He probably will send that in, and I think Mongo, if it is sent in, will be getting a penalty for that. As Josh goes a bit wide there, and once again, Mongo closes up to the back. These 2 Williamses having a real good fight in this race, but like we've just seen on the previous lap, Mongo now has that 3-second penalty, and that is going to affect him as we go almost into the second half of this race. We're 4 laps away from doing so. Eagle trying to stay out even longer and potentially do a one-stop here. 11 laps now on the mediums, and the gap is now down to 19 seconds. So they are losing lots and lots of time as now Josh makes his way past David Lolface, who's now in P4, and I think Mongo's just going to go straight past the RB as well. And yeah, David's not going to fight it when he knows that someone has got 7 or 8 lap fresher tyres in front of him going through. Just going to race his own race and fight the people that he's in a fight with rather than these leaders. But yeah, Sheriff Woody also trying to make those mediums go far and go for a one stopper. At the moment, if they were to pit, they would have to do 19 laps on the hard tyres. So I think they're probably going to be soon in the region of trying to stop. It's probably going to be, it's got to be lap between now and lap 15. They surely will come in, and then it's a case of can Josh and Mongo gain enough time to be able to get a 2-stop to work. Looking down the pack, see who else has not stopped yet. Oh, and Josh is actually going really slow. I think he's gone wide again, and Mongo trying to go up the outside there, but doesn't make it work. The gap they've got now to Button is around about 3 seconds. And then Leonardo, who's gone for another set of mediums, about 2 seconds behind. So Leonardo definitely sticking to the 2-stopper here. And yeah, looking back further down, FPRL Locker is the next person in the train. There's a yellow flag out, and that is, I think, Sophia going wide once again. There's definitely a few drivers today not having the best of races. One being Sophia, the other one being Fish Sticks, but he is back up to P13. As Sheriff Woody now took those mediums as far as he can. Where's he going to come out? Probably around about the Tattooed Star P8, I would say.
At least he's got some clean track to use these said tyres, and so has David Lawface. He's going to take the pit stop on lap 13. Well, 13 laps he's done the tyres. Lap 14 we are currently on Edel. 17 well, tell I, so about 16 seconds in about 2 minutes time. 2 corners time rather, to Josh. Mondo, the 2 Williams second and third exchanging places in the pit stops, but Mondo giving the place back to Josh, partly because Mondo is on a 3-second penalty, and that gap now to Button is about 4 seconds, as Leonardo's done what Delta did a few laps ago. He's lost it into the Villeneuve chicane. I wonder if he's got on the grass as well, because it is very easy to do if you're not paying attention. You just drift too wide, taking the second bit of the chicane, get on the grass, and your car just swings round on you. And that is now one place he's lost to the Tattoo Star, and about 5 or 6 seconds he's lost to Button, who's very, very slowly making up the time to Mondo, as Edo has decided enough's enough. 14 laps done, and they are going to make their pit stop. And like I said, that nice little cushion that Sheriff Woody has filtered into ahead of Locker, about 3 seconds, that's what Edo will want. But what his tyre is going to be, it is a set of hards. A potential one-stop strategy here for Edo. And does he get out ahead of Locker? This will be important for their race. And I think that answer will be yes, as Leonardo now under major pressure from Sheriff Woody, making his pit stop the previous lap, and Leonardo, with that mistake, been compounded by the Alpine. And where is Edo? Edo's actually out ahead of the Tattoo Star. That is so important for them. Now they got even more clean track, around 7 seconds to Button. Use these tyres, or do you conserve them? What does Edo want to do?
Yeah, I mean, he's in a good position here. 12 seconds behind the leaders. He will go faster than them. He's on 4 and 6 lap fresher tyres than the 2 Williamses, so he should be going quicker. It's in a case of can he take him to the end, and obviously the Williams will be on the fresher tyres come the last bit of the race. It's going to be quite tight this, so I think Eagle could make this work. He's normally quite good on the tyres. He's shown that already in the first half on the medium, so I think it's potentially be a good strategy here. The only thing that's going to ruin it for him is a safety car. At the moment, I'm probably going to jinx it now, but everyone's still in the race. We've still got all 18 runners at about half race distance, so that is good to see. And we've got another yellow flag. I thought it was going to be a safety car then. It is Zafir that's gone off at the back.
Not yet.
He's really having not the best race at all, is he, today? Down, and another 3-second penalty as well. Yeah, I don't think he's enjoying Imola at all. We've got the 2 Aston still actually going quite well for them anyway. 16th and 17th, they're having quite clean races to be fair to them. And then Gregor's now into the box, taking those mediums. 14 laps. He's always really good on the tyres, is Gregor's, but on this occasion today, he's not really in the great position to make any effect, but he definitely should be able to make a one-stop work. Hirsch getting another 3-second penalty there added to his name. That's not ideal. Fishstick's now up into P11, but he has been on those hards for 8 laps and will need to definitely stop again to make sure he gets to the end of the race. Whether or not he can get some points, we'll have to wait and see. A lot of people are going to make stops. Zafir is off again, and he's crashed it into the pit lane.
Oh, not again.
And that is a VSC, I think. That is a VSC. VSC is out.
Oh,
So, Tattooed Star, do you come into the box is the question. Godfather as well, 14 laps. It's going to be a big ask to take medium 16 laps, so I think Tattooed Star wants to go a little bit longer, to be honest.
I think Godfather should take this as a pit stop. Sheriff Woody is. That's a surprise. He's only just on those tyres. A Tattoo Star is. That's going to be a 2-stop strategy from here on out for the McLaren. Godfather, it's a no-brainer. You might as well. You pit on lap 1, get yourself a fresh set of hards on if you've got that available. The cheap pit stop, but equally a very long pit lane as... Oh, Josh!
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
That's going to be the Delta, I think. Or Nornia play. It looks like he's made an overtake
because he's
and
overtook
then not giving it
Sophia,
back.
who's lost his front wing.
That's really, really unlucky
So that-
for him.
No, if Josh needs to make enough, Josh has to go to the end now because he can't afford that 10 seconds. That's going to be about a 40-second pit stop that he's going to have as we're back underway. This race is just taking another turn. Sheriff Woody now joins the 3-second club. As I'm looking through the order, Sheriff Woody has just exited the pit lane. Where is the Tattoo Star actually? They are just heading up towards Tulsa, but they're on a 2-stop. Sheriff Woody is heading through Piratella, so I don't know, like this race has definitely been blue wide open, but if you're Button or Eagle, this seems to be now the 2-horse race. Eagle looking to go for a 1-stop. Button looks like he's on a 2-stop, but can he make up the time? As we got another virtual.
Yeah, it's a Delta. He's spun off and lost his front wing, coming down to Aqua Minerale. So that's
talk about it.
as he put himself in the pit lane again. We got another full safety. We got a full safety car now. Sorry, not another one. We got the first full safety car.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not sure if Eagle would have liked that. I think Eagle with the VSC was on for a really good strategy, and probably would have, if everything went to plan, would have took the win. But now people are coming to the box. They're going to serve some 10-second penalties. Maybe Brandon serving his from what he got from his first pit stop.
I'm just
Surely
thinking
Josh.
Mongo's got to back
in.
up a ton of time now to Josh because of that 10 seconds. So in a way, that's actually saved Josh, but equally, it's hindered Mongo. Button might now get him in the pit stops. I think Eagle's got to stay out.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think he needs to keep the track position. He's only on 3-lap old hards, and one of those laps was behind the VSC. So I would not be pitting if I was Eagle. I would be saying, let's get the track position, let's get the lead of the race, and let's just nurse them behind the safety car and get to the end. I think that's probably the best bet for him. Button probably will pit and will be his biggest contender going into the second half of the race because he won't have any penalties. Josh now into the box and get rid of his 10 seconds,
Mongo
but where will he
stays
come out? Yeah, Mongo's going to ruin it for himself. He's going to catch up to the safety car, and yeah, I think he should have just waited behind Josh. Yeah, it's a long wait, but he would have lost less time by doing that. So Josh now gets it. Oh, that is you're not going to get to the end on them. So yeah, I don't know.
Unless he's going to put another set of hards on. I don't understand that call. He's actually going to lose out here at Sheriff Woody. Sheriff Woody's now actually net leader because I'm really shocked Eagle pitted there.
Yeah, Eagles pitted for fresh mediums.
And then
Gone down
again-
to P6.
Then again, he did take them 13 laps, so go with what you know, I suppose. Locker's going to find himself in
It's-
7th, which for him is actually half decent, but the penalties from earlier on might haunt him. I don't know now. This race has been blew wide open.
Yeah, I would say Button's in the best position here. He's on the hards. He'll go to the end. They'll be in better condition near the end. Eagle will just have to try and make a big move at this restart, but yeah, I mean, Leonardo's also on 2-lap old hards. One of them would have been behind the VSC, so I think he's in quite a good position as well. The only thing with Sheriff Woody and Mongo, they do have those penalties. Mongo is in, I think, a really bad position here. Is he going to stay out and get absolutely trounced by everyone? Because he won't get those tyres to the end. I'd be very surprised if he takes them 23 laps. Yes, we're going to have some laps behind the safety car, but they're going to be screaming by the end, and I think he's just going to have to make the decision now to just come into the box and probably before everyone else catches up, really. But no, he's going to stay out, and yeah, he's going to get absolutely eaten alive come the restart, especially by Josh. 11-lap hards versus fresh softs. That's an absolute no-brainer. He should literally just get out of the way as soon as he can and let his teammate through. Yeah, this is it's going to be a very interesting finish to this race. Just looking down the field, Rainbow's out on 8-lap-old mediums in 10th position. So he's going well in 10th, but yeah, I'm surprised you haven't come in and got another fresh set on, because they're going to be really, really bad going forward into the latter stages. And yeah, looking down the field as well, Godfather's on 4-lap-old mediums. Not sure how good they're going to be come the end. And then a bunch of drivers at the back with penalties. Radical P16 on somewhat fresh hards with no penalties. So he could see himself gain a lot of positions here come the end if he keeps it clean and within the white lines. Fish Sticks now on fresh hards up to P9. So maybe it's not all doom and gloom for the championship either. But whether or not he's actually going to take any sort of major points here, we'll have to wait and see. He hasn't got any penalties at the moment though, however, so potentially could be leapfrogging some places when we get to the end of the race.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Fish Sticks because I've been shunned by the Twitch chat. First off by Silverside Boy calling me out for the earlier... Oh, that went to plan. Fish Sticks and Rainbow having a bit of a after you sir into the Variante Alta. And Shadow's tuning in the chat, even to you Shadows, saying that Fish Sticks is back in the top 10. Cruiser, keep his name well away from your mouth. Especially what happened by about lap 14. Jay Disputed, didn't it? Jay, I've done one already. Well, Jay Disputed chimed in with the truther there. And Shadows. Yeah, Shadows. Omnia says is that it was Monkey Boy Kurt who brought him up first. It wasn't me, it was them. As, oh, Rainbow's making a bit of a late call there for a pit stop. You know what, you might as well actually. You're guaranteed to get ties to the end here, but Josh is... He is an outsider by a country mile on those softs, unless he basically has an infinite lifespan glitch in the game that we don't know about. He's not getting them another 11 laps. Eagle maybe get to the end, but like you said, Button is definitely in the best position. Freshest tyres in the pack, along with Locker, but the difference is Button is penalty free for now. As Jay Disputed, do your worst. That's who I am right now. I've done a truth already, so let's do a dare. If it's anything to do with Celtic, I will find you and I will personally do tier 2 commentary again, and I will shun you from the race again. I remember, I will hold a grudge. But we should get back underway at the end of this lap, being 3 laps under the safety car. So it'll be Mongo to lead them away on 12-lap old hards, not taking the opportunity to pit because their teammate Josh had to serve a 10-second penalty for yellow flag infringements under a previous virtual safety car. So Mongo taking the bullet here for his teammate. Sheriff Woody in second, but it's on 3 seconds of penalties. This is actually the first time I've seen the penalty count. Our Locker's on 12. Wow, I didn't think it was that bad for the Haas driver. And everyone else is on 3. Dreaders, Delta, Major Allen, Hirsch, David Lawface, Sheriff Woody and Mongo. The drivers on a penalty for now, but with 11 laps to go, as their Sheriff Woody giving a little love tap there to Mondo. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, he says. Get a riddle on for one Williams, because Mondo, I've got your teammate behind me and I don't want him to let him through. But with debt underway at the restart, Mondo leads Sheriff Woody. Josh in third, but on those soft tyres, he's going to have to make them work immediately or not at all. As Sheriff Woody making his restart work immediately on the much fresher hard tyres to Mondo, who will round the outside of Tamburello. Brilliant there from the Alpine, and puts himself to the lead. Now run away as far away as you can from the chasing pack, because there's a Mercedes on the prowl as well as the Williams duo. Now second and third, and this race is starting to get a little bit away from them here. Josh on those softs, he's got to hope his teammate lets him through immediately, and to be honest, if Mondo wasn't going to let him through, he didn't have a choice. That is the benefit there of the fresher softs, and around Piratella he goes. Sheriff Woody leading Josh now in second place. But how far and how long will those soft tyres last?
Yeah, well, Sheriff Woody here is going to be wanting Mongo to hold up the pack behind him immensely. I don't think Josh, as much as he's going to really be troubling Sheriff Woody at the moment, is going to have any chance of getting to the end of this race on those soft tyres. So I think I wouldn't even fight him, to be honest. I don't think he's going to get him 10 laps. I just think we'll let him go and he'll have to pit again, otherwise they're going to go pop. But yeah, Mongo now, look at how much he's holding up the guys behind him. Button, Leonardo and Eagle now in the train. We've still got no DRS yet, but Mongo using the battery and trying to stay ahead of the pack. Here comes Button now on the fresher hard tyres. And what can we see here from Button? No, we can't see anything, but Josh trying to go for the lead on Sheriff Woody. And Sheriff Woody doesn't want to get too involved in keeping Josh behind, because he wants to try and gain as much time as he can, while Mongo is holding up the pack behind him as Leonardo trying to go for a move on Button, but can't get past, and he's still looking very good at the moment here. FPRL Locker also, if he didn't have those penalties, looking very, very quick in these final stages. Tattooed Star 8, Fishnick's 9th, really hassling him for the position, and his teammate David Lolface down in 10th. And then we've got, like I say, a balance of people apart from Radical, all on penalties at the back. But we'll go back to the front, where Josh is still trying to get past Sheriff Woody. I even reckon by this point the softs are basically going off after 4 laps. Surely he can't go. Oh, and Leonardo gets a second time penalty. And at this point now, I would probably say to myself, right, I'm probably going to let Eagle through here and let him have a go at trying to get the win, because you know you're just going to drop behind him, or at least try and help him with DRS. But here comes Mongo now, definitely going to be under attack, and he does come into the box, and that's a really big shot there. I mean, he should have just pitted when he could have, and he would have been with the pack, and now he's going to be absolutely miles behind him as we go back to the front again. Josh trying to make a move on Sheriff Woody, and now that Mongo is out of the way, Button can now try and attack these front two. And the more time Josh is behind, and the more time he tries to fight and get his way past, the more that those tyres are just going to go off. Yeah, I think Button still looking in a good position at the moment for the race win.
That he is, but equally Josh, how long will those soft tyres last? As I have shot myself in the foot as well, as our Drummers is not happy with the Williams situation. But to be fair to Mondo, we've done his bit to back up the field. It just isn't going to be enough, given the penalty situation around them. Button's still on a clean slate, Eagle's still on a clean slate, but what does Leonardo do though, because he got that 3-second penalty as well. Sheriff Woody still leads the way. Maybe he want to try and get that 3 seconds rescinded if he's able to. Shadows is not happy with Josh's tyre situation. 5 laps on softs, and he's got to do double that and a little bit more to get over the line. He's going to be begging for another safety car here. I think Williams might have just threw this race away, granted not through their own fault. We just see how much more time Josh is starting to hemorrhage now to Sheriff Woody. Button right behind him and on the better condition of tyres as he slightly nudges the wall there in towards the Tamburello chicane. Josh doing his bit to try and get ahead of Sheriff Woody, but I think he's missed his chance on the previous lap. That was the closest he's got there to that Alpine. David Lolface getting the move done on the Tattoo Star, now up to 8th place is the RB, and Fishstick's now up to 7th place in the other RB. They're right behind Locker as Josh is waiting for it into Tulsa, and Josh, that is a critical move if ever for the Williams driver. On those fading soft tyres, he's got to hold on now for another 8 laps. Is this just I think this might just be a false dawn here for Josh, unless he demonstrates the best tyre management I will ever see in a league race, bar none.
Yeah, if he gets these softs to the end and makes it work and wins the race, he'll definitely get driver of the day. No question.
Would
If
deserve
he
a
can make
night
those
if he does,
softs.
honestly.
Yeah, literally. But I think they're already fading because here comes Sheriff Woody. He's coming back at him before we even get to the DRS zone. And then Sheriff Woody would be sitting to overtake him here because he'll want to take it down the main straight and retake the lead. But Josh does get the better exit out of the final corner. It's only half a second. Sheriff Woody's going to take this lead back. And I think Button might even take P2. And here comes Button. He's using all the battery he can, and he is going to go through. He's going around the outside before we get to turn 1, and he is. He's through into P2. The net leader, obviously, Sheriff Woody's got the 3-second penalty. Button just needs to keep it within the white lines. He is going to be the winner if he does do that. Josh now just looks like he's going to fade away, really, to be quite honest with you. And yeah, once again, if I was Leonardo, I'd be letting Igor have a go. There's a contact.
Oh,
there.
he's been
There's
shotted
contact again.
round.
There's all three of them are off.
Oh no!
Oh, and the race curse has done
Leonardo
Button
aided
once
that.
again.
Oh, that's a disaster. And now Sheriff Woody might actually have the advantage because of that. Can he now break the 3 seconds to Eagle? But Leonardo, I think he might have aided that. He shunted into the back of Josh, who put the nose up the inside at Tosa. And once again, the luck is not in it for Button. He done nothing wrong in that. And actually, for that matter, Leonardo does have end plate damage. This is now a matter of if Sheriff Woody can keep a 3-second gap to Eagle as...
safety
even
car.
more drama! Another safety car.
Looks like Godfather's lost it.
And Sheriff Woody stays out. He missed his chance. What does Eagle? Eagle stays out. Leonardo will stay out. Walker stays out. I think everyone is going to stay out except maybe down to about 10th. 9th, 10th place. You might as well take the pit. As the tattoo started, so is Radical. Bredos is going to stay out. You know what, you might as well. You're on a clean slate of penalties. Go for it. What you got to lose?
Yeah, I think I agree. Yeah, I think I would go for it if I'm. Oh, Button's retired. Yeah, I can probably understand.
Button, he's not happy.
Yeah, it's from the chat. Shallow saying Fish is now on for P2. How has that happened? Got no penalties, and he's on for second place, and he probably will get it because the pack's going to bunch up now, and we're probably not going to get underway till at least the end of lap 28. So yeah, Button has left the session, and yeah, he just has something about him and races. Everything, just something goes wrong.
And I think we should make sure that there's plenty of cushions for Button to batter and just punch in frustration. I think that's going to be the way to go. Make sure that there's no plant pots or windows nearby or anything that's made of glass for Button, because he's going to be absolutely fuming when he gets back to the paddock. Our drummers went for the line of Williams are going to be swapped out for 2 reserves after this race, and to be fair, it was not really through their own doing, to be fair, because it all stemmed from a 10-second penalty, rather unfairly I think for Josh, and the snowball has reached maximum velocity. It's not slowed down, and this is where it is now. You went from a net 1-2 at the start down to last place, 14th and 15th of the running order now towards the end of the race. But the penalty situation is where this race is going to get very, very interesting. Sheriff Woody, 11 lap old hards, has a 3-second penalty. Eagle in second place is on 9 lap old mediums, but no penalties, as I'm gradually taking a quick phone call here. This is untimely, so I'll be back in just a second.
Yeah, no worries, Cruiser, and yeah, everyone's bunching up now towards the back. They got to be careful here; they don't actually hit each other and get additional penalties. Rainbow's up in 10th position, only 3 seconds of penalties. We have to take our hats off to him. And if he didn't have any penalties, to be fair, there's only a few laps to go. He might have a chance at points, but I do feel that he's just going to lose out on that with the guys that are behind him on fresher tyres. Let's have a look at those tyres then. So Radical, Delta, Josh and Mongo all at the back on fresh softs. Tatted Star is on fresh mediums in 11th, and then we've got 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, and 6th, all with time penalties. So potentially we could see those guys out of the points rising up from, well, Tatted Star anyway, from 11th to 6th. And in fact, we're probably going to see him rise even more because FPRL Locker would not have liked that safety car coming out, as he's obviously on 15 seconds of penalty. So he's pretty much, I reckon, going to drop right down to the back and finish probably in 15th, unfortunately, with so little laps to go. Eagle now will be liking it as well. He's obviously on the mediums, and now he can take him a bit further. He should be fine to the end now to battle with Sheriff Woody, but it's down to Sheriff Woody to try and pull a 3-second gap as we get ready to go underway again and start lap 29. Sheriff Woody will now get away. On the accelerator he goes, and it's not too bad of a getaway. 7 tenths to Eagle. Leonardo looks like he's trying to fight his teammate, but I wouldn't be. You're on a 3-second penalty. You want to try and make it easier for your teammates to try and get this race win.
That you want to hope and do at least, but you're a race driver, you're not going to make it easy for anyone, are you? As we'll look further towards the... Oh, the Tattoo Star's got a 3-second penalty. Delta's now got ahead of Josh, and this race is really 180 here for the Williams drivers, as there goes Locker round the outside of Villeneuve, clobbers the side pod there of Leonardo, rejoins just about intact as this fish sticks down 5th on for a net 2nd place with the penalties so far, but we need to keep an eye on that for the remaining 3.5 laps. As everyone in the Twitch chat going mental here at the state of affairs, as there's an Eagle right behind Sheriff Woody, and that's just a sign of you're not pulling away at all, let alone getting a 3-second buffer over me. As Eagle, he can just afford to coast it home, given the fact he's still on that clean slate. And I always say in Tier 3, keep the 0. That's exactly what he's doing for now, and he's going to take home a first place trophy for the first time this season. He got the drive at Salba after a runners-up slot at Melbourne, and he wants to go one better around Imola tonight as a bit of a thank you actually to the team for offering him the full-time job, that being me for giving him the seat. But Sheriff Woody, we start lap 30, DRS is enabled, and Eagle half a second behind. Sheriff Woody needs to hope for a minor miracle here, it seems. As looking through the order, Hirsch having a go at David Lawface, just see that in the background. These two have been inseparable for quite a bit of the race, and David Lawface now wins that exchange ahead of Hirsch, and Locker puts pay to his penalty catalogue, let alone his penalty collection, as Mondo also joins the 6-second club, and that is game over for them, as Hirsch has actually let through his teammate to try and hunt down David and at least limit the damage for the McLarens.
Yeah, looks like also Josh at the back with no penalties, and Radical could potentially see themselves climbing up into the sort of 8th, 9th, 10th region, even though they're 13th, 14th at the moment. Back to the front, Sheriff Woody then with 2.5 laps to go. Eagle looks like he's not going to be dropping back that far, and just needs to keep it on track. And let's actually have a look quickly and see how many warnings Eagle does have. And if those 2 warnings on the first lap are not extended track limits, he's got no warnings at all. And one of them, actually they are, both on the first lap are for exceeding track limits. So he's only got 1 warning left until he gets to 3 seconds. So definitely has to make sure that he keeps it within the white lines. But now he has a DRS. Now he deploys the battery. He overtakes on. Sheriff Woody surely is going to be here for the taking. Here comes Eagle. Had a look, but wasn't confident enough to dive down the inside. Doesn't even need to at this point. He can just stay behind and just stay close to Sheriff Woody. Fish Sticks at the moment is going to get, I think he is just about going to get P2 as it stands. Gregors gets a penalty as well. David Lolfat's now up to P6. The Tatted Star now up to 7th, and he's going to rise up, I believe, to 5th. Currently with David and Locker in front of him. But yeah, the real focus now is who's going to get this win, and it looks like it is going to be Eagle, provided he can keep it within the white lines. And you always think around here that there's so many places you can go wide. I think they have sorted out the track limits for this year's game, so it's not going to be as harsh as it normally was in previous ones. But yeah, Eagle's looking comfortable, and he looks like he might even have a go at Sheriff Woody down the main straight on the final lap there.
We do approach the final lap. Firsticks might not be out of this yet, but he's got to get ahead of Leonardo to at least give himself a very slim chance of overtaking the other Sauber of Edo as we're on the final lap now. Leonardo harvesting what battery he's got left. Verstex is closing in. He's going to go to the outside of that Sauber and he's going to look for the move around the outside at Tamburello. He's going to get the move done just about on the exit. And Fishsticks now definitely on for second place. Could he do one better as we're on the final tour of this track? It's David Lowface. Oh, David, no, he's made a mistake. He's now out the points. Oh, David, no.
Yeah, I mean, he was on 6 seconds. I don't know how many he would have kept, but I think he would have definitely kept 1 or 2. But yeah, it's definitely going to be nothing now for David with 6 seconds to his name. He might still gain one on FPRL locker, but that is going to be it. Unless one of the guys in front of him makes a mistake. Delta's actually up in 10th, but I think he's going to lose out to Josh for points as well. And Radical in 13th should still get some points, but we're approaching the last bits of the final lap. Sheriff really leading by 5 tenths. Locker gets another 3-second penalty to put him up to 21. But yeah, we go then. Eagle is going to be the winner, unless Fishsticks has a massive dive into the penultimate corner. That's not going to be the case. Eagle is going to be our race winner, with Sheriff Woody's going to take it on track.
That he will. Sheriff Woody, the penalties will played him. He takes the checkered flag, and Eagle, for the first time this season, wins in Tier 3. The team that offered him a full-time seat, that's how you repay the thank you. And Fishsticks, this is a decisive day for the championship, taking second place. And I'm looking through the order. It looks like Sheriff Woody just about held on for third as everyone finished in close proximity. We will get a better look at the finishing order as G Undisputed is upset at his Dare Redemption not being redeemed. Tough love, you know. As Josh said, he chose a softer tyre choice by accident. Oh, it's easy done for the Williams, and he's pretty annoyed. Safe to say that is that. As for the first time this season, Eagle taking victory around Imola, and is going to take a small chunk out of a very sizable lead for Fishsticks, who extends that margin over the likes of Mongo, the likes of Button, and the likes of Godfather. Sheriff Woody, what could have been for them, but what it is for the Sauber team, as that's the second time in a week, or second time in about 3 weeks that they're on the podium. Cleanest driver actually goes to Eagle as well. Locker the most overtakes, Tattoo Star driver of the day, which is an interesting shout. Mondo and Eagle, the rest of the stats. And there we see our finishing order. Leonardo will take 4th. Somehow Josh, despite that mistake, will rise to 5th. The Tattoo Star takes 5th. Radical will take 7th, which, considering how his race went, he'll be well happy with that. Hirsch, Mondo and Dredders will finish off in the points. Delta just missing out on their first points of the season and their first points in the lead, with David Rainbow up to 13th and Major Allen as well. I've missed the rest of the timing charts. Oops. Hopefully RLT works. Hopefully it does, as Twitch chat are going to get the pitchforks on me for not doing a Dare Redemption. Take it up with your Tier 1 division head, who's also a voice on Friday night. Take it up with Mr. Silverside Boy, who does not do them at all, at least ask for them. Anyway, for the 5th time this season, we head to our showroom and look to get a word with our podium drivers. That being Fishsticks, which has been quite recurring, honestly. As Eagle joins up, and also we'll try and get a word from Sheriff Woody as well. And we need to try and remember which. We get the Alpine up on stream very briefly for. Still say boy saying don't throw me under the bus. Am I telling lies? Tattoo Star saying, how's that an interesting choice? He started 16th. Well, to be fair, yeah. He battled hard for his finishing position. I actually completely forgot where he finished in the end. I think he was, what, like 8th? Well, I mean, fair enough. Well, it could have been better if it wasn't for the penalties, as I've now been... So we'll say, boy, at least I know you're watching the stream. I know you're watching the stream. He's just sent me some hate mail through Xbox messages. And it looks as though... Yep, looks like everyone is here for the podium celebrations. So Monkey Boy Kurt, over to you and our 3rd place driver, Sheriff Woody.
Yeah, thank you, Cruiser. Sheriff Woody, well done on your P3. You find yourself on the podium once again, making a habit of it this season and definitely keeping yourself in the mix for those high top three places in the overall championship. But obviously, we'll start with quali. It was a very close end to the session. That third run, you found yourself P4, 3 temps behind the pole time of a 15.2. A 15.5. Would you happy with that? Do you think you could have gone any quicker today?
No, I was really happy with that, mate. It's probably my best qualifying this season so far. I just yeah, it was just pretty much as good of a lap as I could have done. Yeah, definitely happy.
Yeah, and obviously going into the race, obviously the top six, top seven, kind of staying as they were. You did make a move on Eagle near the start, and obviously made up that position. It obviously went back the other way a bit later on. Was that a good little battle to start off the race?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I just got a good start, managed to get around the outside of Eagle, and then just stay behind the two Williams. Then really, tried to make a couple of moves on Mongo, but just ended up draining my battery, and then in that first stint, just as it went on, I really started struggling on those mediums, and then Eagle managed to get past me, and then just tried to extend it as long as possible.
Yeah, and then obviously getting on to the latter part of the race, that safety car coming out. You pitted soon before that, and obviously had a VSC just before, which meant that the tyre didn't get a lot of degrading on that lap. Found yourself leading the race, but obviously had that 3 seconds hanging over your head. Um, I mean, how close were you to maybe getting another penalty? I guess it's really annoying that you've obviously got that 3 seconds because you did take the win on track and did drive a really good race. But yeah, just give us an idea of the track limits, I guess, as well, because obviously they've changed it a bit from last game, not made it as harsh. Was there any places you felt that it was still needed a bit of work on?
No, to be fair, it's a big improvement on the last game. I think my big issue personally was I bottled the strategy completely. I extended the first stint, then forgot to change tyres. So I went on a set of mediums, so that VSC blessed me. And then on that second set, until that VSC came out, I was just trying to make up as much time as I could, and I was just overshooting the second turn really, and that's where the 3 seconds came from. And then other than that, track limits is so much better on that track this year.
Yeah, it is good to hear, and obviously it's good that obviously you still kept the P3 after the penalty that you did have. So moving on then to next week, and we almost at halfway in this season 11. We move on to Spa next week, and obviously we just have it in real life. How are you feeling for it in FPRL next week? Do you like Spa?
Yeah, Spa's a great track. It was a pretty close race there last season, so hopefully same again. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the rest of the tracks in this calendar this season. So yeah, hopefully a few more podiums to come.
Yeah, well, obviously you find yourself obviously P3. It's going to leapfrog you above your teammate and Mongo, but I do believe certain Kick Sauber might have also leapfrogged you with his result today. So you probably find yourself P3 in the championship after today. So well done on the result, and I'm going to over Cruiser for our P2 man.
Thank you.
And well done to Sheriff Woody. Now to second place. Very rarely do I think this season we're going to say second place this campaign, but Fish Sticks, that wasn't the full story. Definitely not. Especially after that opening lap, you found yourself down in 15th place to claw back second. Certainly the makings of a champion, it must be said.
Yeah, I got a bit lucky there at the end, didn't
Just a bit.
No, yeah, like I say after two incidents with a Haas, I wasn't really. I was just sort of hoping to just keep the point scoring going, so maybe sneak a 10th. But yeah, I wasn't really thinking that I'd be sneaking another podium. So, I mean, I'll take it, but yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you have the words
Yeah,
for
say,
it.
no, I say I was just in recovery mode for most of that, and then I was like, oh wait a minute. So yeah, it's a strange one. So
But still, it's results like that matter the most in a championship. And speaking of which, with results tonight, you've now broken the 100-point barrier, and your closest challenger hasn't even broke 70 points. So you're looking at about a 40-point gap, which, as we approach the halfway stage, is beyond healthy. To the point where we can actually miss next week and still lead the championship. But as we head off to Spa next week, obviously it's the longest track in the calendar. It's certainly be the most grueling track on the calendar as well. And if there's any rain in the air, strategy as well is going to be playing its part. Is it one that you think, at least you think you'll keep the luck going, but equally is it a track that you prefer?
Nah, I say sort of. I tend to always sort of go towards more higher downforce setups on there, so I might have to go the other way and try and struggle boss the middle sector. But yeah, like I say, it's all going to be. Like I say, we saw it in real life. It's probably all going to be down. It's going to be down for that run to Laku. Hopefully, probably not for the viewers that it's only lap 1, but yeah, it's going to be that run that's going to probably be key.
I think from a
Most
driver's
things.
perspective, you're hoping for a little skip through meadows and sunflowers and rainbows at the
I'm
end of the
hoping that
opening
rain
lap.
doesn't. I hoping rain doesn't show up until like Singapore when I'm not here. So
Well, beggars can't be choosers. You don't play the hand you're dealt. And although
No,
you
true,
were
true.
dealt a hand of a king and a 4, you made it work somehow, and you took second place at the table. So well done, Fish Sticks, and I mean that. Well done for a fantastic effort tonight and a recovery drive worthy of a champion-elect. And from the RB to the Sauber, for the first time this season, Eagle, well done on your victory, and Monkey Boy Kurt, for the second time, we'll pass back to you before we close out tonight's stream.
Yeah, cheers, Cruiser. Well done, Fish. Like you said, a bit lucky there, but you'll take the P2, no doubt. So well done, mate. But yeah, Eagle, first time this season, I believe, on the top
Yes.
step. It is, yes. Thank you. I
is.
wasn't quite sure on off the top of my head, but yeah, it's kind of been a bit of a long time coming. You've been very close this season with a lot of good qualities results and a lot of podium finishes, but now finally you can say that you've won a race in season 11. Qualin P3, 15.4, around 2.5 temps off the pole time. Impressed with that? Do you think you could have done had any little mistakes on that last lap, and maybe you could have had a chance at pole?
No, I was doing 15.8 in practice just before the lobby opened, so no, that was as quick as I could have gone. I think I wasn't any time any quicker than that. So I was expecting probably to be about 6 or 7. Quite happy with P3.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's definitely obviously good to be on the second row at least. But going into the race, obviously, like I said to Sheriff Woody, you were sort of in that front 7. It was quite steady to start with. Everyone's sort of staying in their quality positions, and then obviously people's then starting to make pit stops, 2-stop strategies. Looks like you were going for the 1 stop. Obviously,
Yeah.
then safety cars kind of changed that about, but that was always going to be the plan, yeah, to go for the 1 stop and take those
Yeah.
hards to the end.
Yeah, change isn't the right word. Ruin is the right word with the safety car, because that was an easy victory with a 1 stop. No one was catching me. Nobody. That's the start. I had a crap start again, as always. So I lost place to Sheriff. Obviously, I wasn't pushing too hard because I knew I was trying to take those medium 14 laps to start with. Obviously, then people started pitting and whatnot, so I was out on front. And then I think I was 4th on the hards before the virtual and safety cars come out and totally ruin the strategy. But then it was just a case of, do I stay out on the hards or do I dive in and get new mediums on? So I decided to do that. I think I went down to 6th. And then I think it's when I pitted to get me back up to 5th. But then I had obviously the better tyre wear at the end because people were on older hards, I think. But yeah, new Sheriff had that penalty, so I wasn't really pushing too hard. And I was on 2 warnings, so I didn't want to get a 3-second time penalty. I picked those 2 warnings from the very first lap. So,
Yeah, we did mention that obviously on the stream actually that you had 2 ones on the first lap, so we did think you have to be quite careful not to pick up another one, otherwise you would have handed the win to actually Fish in the end, who obviously didn't have any podiums podiums, any penalties either. But yeah, we were also talking about your strategy. We were actually quite surprised you came into the pits to get the mediums. We thought you were going to start on the hards, but obviously it worked in the end, and you find yourself on the top step, and now second place in the championship. Fish's closest rival now, some I think around about 40 points behind. So hopefully if for you anyway, if he has a DNF or two, you might find yourself a bit closer to him. But I'm not sure if that'll be happening this season. But we go to Spa next week, and do you feel like you could be getting back-to-back wins at all?
Possible. I like Spa, so whether that converts into actual pace or not, we'll see. But yeah, it's a track I do actually really like. Probably one of my favourite tracks, to be honest. So yeah, watch out, Fish.
There you go. There you go. He's been told, watch out, Fish.
I mean,
so
in all fairness, of all the
I'll just-
drivers, Eagle's the one I was more concerned about in there. No offense to the rest of you, but yeah, I know what Eagle can do once he starts going. So I've seen his consistency in the past. It's just he'll just
Cleanest
steamroll
driver
it.
3 weeks in a row now. Cleanest.
I know.
Check
Yeah.
that out.
Well, hopefully, lads, it will be a good, clean battle between yourselves next week as well on Spa. But Eagle, congratulations once again on your victory, and I'm sure Cruiser thinks the same as well.
Thank you for that, and congratulations, Edo. First victory of the season, and judging by a kind of ominous warning, actually, it seems might not be the last. But damage is done for Fish Sticks. Over 100 points in the campaign, some 40 clear of the chasing pack as we head to the halfway point Spa next week. It's a one-man show, but every show needs a supporting cast, and a supporting cast are out to catch him. But before we leave the session and we leave our stream there, Monkey Boy Kurt, after about 10 seconds of reflection after our interviews, who do you think is worthy of our driver of the day?
Well, I do think today there were a lot of drives where people gained a lot of places. However, obviously we did have a lot of safety cars and a lot of penalties to factor into that. So good races for people like Tatty Star, but I'm not going to be giving to them today, just like I say, on the basis of late safety cars and penalties that obviously had an effect on that. I do feel that it does, and he's been asking it for the last couple of weeks, to be fair, but if we didn't have those safety cars... Yeah, if we didn't have those safety cars, I do agree with Eagle. I think he would have made that strategy work, and I think it would have been a comfortable win, and he would have made it pay off. So I am going to give it to Eagle today. So well done, mate.
Finally, common sense.
Finally. Finally, and common sense, so don't say we're too kind to you. Well, that's going to be it for tonight at FP Racing League. Thank you everyone for tuning in and for watching. We will be back this Wednesday at 8 PM UK time with your usual hosts of A Major and Collateral Ads, tuning in on Wednesday before our Friday nights are capped off not by Silverside Boy and David Lawface. No, we will welcome Crossedy to the commentary booth for the first time this season, as well as the returning voice of Tidjum, making his first appearance in the commentary booth in Season 11 for a Tier 1 race. Tier 2 races are Wednesday, 8 PM UK time, and Friday, which will be the 1st of August, wow, for Friday at 8 PM UK time for a Tier 1 race. So we hope you tune in for both races before we pack our bags and head off to the hills of Belgium for our week at Spa-Francorchamps. But that has been Monkey Boy Kurt signing off on our Mondays like usual.
Yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and obviously join us again next week for Spa. It will be a good one.
And we will see you on track this Wednesday for Tier 2, and you'll see me on track this Friday for Tier 1 as we round out our week at Imola. But this has been Cruiser 1872. Thank you very much for watching. From all of us here at FPRL, good night.